This is a totally random um, live show. Um, I want to speak on a particular subject. I don't think it's very important for me to speak on this. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say important, but this has been on your boy mind for just a little bit. And I was actually watching a video um, on this particular subject hand. Um, I have questions that kind of go through and play through my head um, every so often. And I come across a question that I ask myself. I was actually watching a video, a live show on um, the fellas show, John and Mike. I was watching Your Falcon Mind, a live show, and some things that I've again, this is something that I always, uh, when I search the internet, search Twitter, search Facebook, and watch other videos, man, I always come across quite a few, um, quite a few videos, and I'm like, I like to pick up on patterns. I'm a patterns type of person. Um, and I have a question for Atlanta Falcons fans. Um, but I don't think it's going away from me personally. And shout out to the fellas. Like I said, I'm always constantly motivated by certain. I'm motivated by a lot of stuff, like a lot of people's videos. Like I watch a lot of people's shows, um, inside and outside the Atlanta Falcons niche. And I was watching their video, and I just noticed a pattern. And I want to get you guys' question, your thoughts on this particular. And you see the title um, of this particular subject at hand. And I always ask myself, like, why is it that we think negative first? What's the pure science and the psychology behind this question? It's like, why is it that when we look at as Falcons fans, we always say this? Like, we got, the Dallas Cowboys, we have the Cleveland Browns, we have Baltimore Ravens, and quite a few teams like Chicago Bears, and we know the Chicago Bears are one of those teams that haven't won championships in quite some times, and we have teams that haven't ever won championships, Atlanta Falcons. But you never look at their fan base. In fact, several fan bases like the Dallas Cowboys haven't won championships in dang near 20-something years. You know, they've been in a drought since, they're pretty much older than my baby brother. Okay? My baby brother was born in 97, and the Falcons, those guys haven't won a thing, since what, 94, 90, 94, 95, the last championship with the Dallas Cowboys. What's up, D? How you doing, bro? And like I said, you see the guys like, you see teams like Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, like I said, these guys haven't won championships in quite some time. And You got you have the Cleveland Browns. These guys have they've had their team taken away from them by Art Modell. He couldn't get certain things put in place there in Cleveland, so he moved the team to Baltimore, and Cleveland ended up getting a new team. So, but their fans never wavered. Their fans never wavered. But I always wondered, why is it that like a organization cannot have won championships, but you never hear their fans complain about. You never hear them come right out of the gate before the season even start, the off season. You never hear them saying, well, the first thing that you come out, it's like, if the Falcons fail, what are they going to do? It's like, for me, I'm the kind of person, it's like, why the fuck would you even think like that? Like, why would you, the first thing that you thinking when we talk about winning, it's like, why would you even think, why does that, the first thing that you think before the season is a bunch of negative shit? Bro, I just don't get it. So I want to kind of get your guys' take on that. It's like, why is it every single time, when we talk about, when we talk about our Atlanta Falcons, one of the things that they have, J-Rock, what's good, boy? Done. It's like that's a mentality that I just don't understand how you can be a fan of any team and just like the first thing that y'all thinking about it is everything going wrong. And like I said, I was watching John and Mike's podcast, Out of Your Falcons Mind, and they had a few guests on there. And, they say other things. I haven't seen the entire thing just yet. But it's like they had a few guests on there. It's like before they asked a question. Okay, like I said, they asked the question. And the thing is, it's like the what ifs was just based purely on negative things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I said, I suggest you guys go over there and check it out for yourself. But like I said, it's like I understand the goal is to have different types of fans, people on your show, and have these different types of people on the show and give their opinion on said topics. But it's just, I only see most of this from content creators. It's not even the fans. These are content creators who think these people have, and like I said, I know they are fans themselves, but it's like, why is it that the only questions that we have, the first thing that we have is if Desmond Ritter fails. So it's not so much it's like the what ifs, it's how you phrase the what ifs. The what ifs are always based on negative things. It's not based on, all right, let's just say, all right, if Desmond Ritter can pass for 3,500 yards, I think the Atlanta Falcons can do that. If he's under that, chances are our running game will have to be elite. So it's how they phrase these particular what ifs. It's always based on, well, if we can't do this, we'll be headed back in the NFL draft to draft a new quarterback, Caleb Williams and things of this nature. So it's based on these types of things that cause me to ask these types of questions. So like I said before, it's crazy as hell. Just like when we look at this team and then we look at how Dallas Cowboy fans are. We look at how the Dallas Cowboy content creators, we got a lot of guys that are Dallas Cowboy 49ers. Rumbo Sports is a guy that I watch for the 49ers. I don't know. Like even I go to Black Cat Panther Sports, those guys, they always speaking highly. If the Panthers could do this and this and this, I think we'll have an opportunity to make the playoffs. But I see a lot of times, I hear a lot of times, Falcon content creators, they're always saying if Desmond Ridder fails, if Arthur Smith doesn't do this or get to the playoffs, then we need to be fired. It's like, it's that mentality that we always have to be, it always has to be centered around a negative. So again, I want to know why you guys say, like, why do you think the Atlanta Falcons fan base, content creators, all of their questions, all of their content is based on what ifs, but the what ifs are always based on something negative. It's always a negative what if. It's very seldom a positive. And this is something that you guys see on a continuous basis. Now, for me personally, these are my thoughts on it. Darius Glover, I'm tired of Sports Center and ESPN. They hate Atlanta sports and respect it. I'm gonna get on that. I'm gonna kind of get on that about what I thought. We kind of had a full house last night, so I didn't really get a chance to speak about the NFL and they teach and what they tweeted out the other day. Yesterday it kind of pissed me off, to be honest. But it's like, this is what I think when it comes down to it. You guys, if you have questions, you can throw some questions in there too. This is just a totally random show. But the question I have is like, why so damn negative? Like, if we're Falcons fans, and we're diehard fans, and we love our team and we support our team, it's like, why is it that you're always, the first thing that we're thinking about is what if somebody fails? Why is it this, what if Arthur Smith doesn't get it done, we gotta fire him? That's been the question. That'd have been the topic. If Desmond Ridder fails, we gonna be, looking for another quarterback, possibly trading draft picks and assets to get Caleb Williams or Bo Nix that's coming out of college. It's like, these guys. It's like, why is it always centered around that what if and the negative what ifs? So much fucking negativity in regards to the Falcons. So this is my thoughts on it. B-roll, what's good? So it's like, this is just how I define a true fan is. You guys leave the definition of a true fan and a true follower of a team. Well, this is how I believe it is, as far as the fans and how fans should see things. This, if you're a fan, like, let's just say this, all right? Let's say this. I'm gonna throw a scenario out there. You see a woman, you see a guy that you really love, and you feel like that person is the person for you. You want to be with them, and you admire their work ethic, you admire how they take care of their family, and you admire, their looks, personality, all of that. You admire all that type of stuff. You are insane. So anybody who know me know, as one star that I kind of funny that I'm saying this, but one of the stars I absolutely adore as far as this is concerned. Um, and don't kill me when I say this, y'all. Don't kill me when I say this, all right? But Erykah Badu, I just love her. I love her spirit. I love, obviously she fine as a motherfucker, but she has a damn good spirit. A song, like, she's just a great artist in my opinion. And you got guys like there's actually, several stars, Eminem, Tupac, Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Prince, all of these people. These people have electric personalities. You can throw a couple of names out there. Just, these guys are just electric personalities. You love their music. You love pretty much everything. You admire everything about them. So if you love this person, if you love this girl, you love this man, you love this artist, you love this, this show, are you going to go out of your way, Taylor Swift, Fred Buzz or Taylor Swift, like, oh, I don't give a fuck about, look, shit, I'll run around butt ass naked with some drawers on, with some shell toe boots, some big ass boots of Erykah Badu. I love me some Erykah Badu. But the thing is, it's like, are you gonna, if you admire and you love this person, are you gonna talk about all their flaws? It's like, if Erykah don't do this to me, no, you're not gonna be thinking about what if Erykah leaves me, and what if Eminem put out a trash song. We don't say, all right, I can't wait for Eminem to put out a trash song. I can't wait to see if Eminem gets dethroned off the quote unquote the throne of hip hop as the greatest artist. You don't say shit like that when it comes down to people and artists that you love. You don't say, all right, I can't wait for Tupac to put out this bullshit ass album. This new album, if he put out a bullshit album, I'm done with him. You don't say shit like that. Megan Thee Stallion, all this shit. Like, you don't say, all right, if Megan don't twerk, I'm done with her ass. Or if she doesn't put out a great album or a great song, you don't say, nah, I'm done with her ass. These are the people and these are the artists that you admire. So why the fuck would you go out of your way to focus on all their negativity, all of the negativity surrounding them, all of the flaws surrounding them? Why would you do that? If you say these are the artists and the people that you love and this is the team that you love, why would you focus on everything negative? You follow these artists and you follow the teams because you love it. You supposedly love these artists. You supposedly love this Atlanta Falcons team. I'll tell you when I fell in love with the Atlanta Falcons. I fell in love with the Atlanta Falcons. One guy. This is when I became a football fan, watching Deion Sanders. As a kid, watching Deion Sanders, I just love his swagger. I love how Deion really didn't cuss a lot. He didn't worry about a lot of negativity. Like, Deion was just such a good person, and like he wore the gold chains, he wore the glasses, he wore all black, and black is one of my favorite colors. He wore black, white, red, like everything that Deion did was damn near perfect. So I'm not looking at, Deion Sanders saying, "Oh my God, Deion, he got destroyed by Jerry Rice one game, and I'm done with him. If he get beat one more time, I'm done with him." I'm not looking at, Mike Vick. When I'm looking at Mike Vick, I'm not saying, "Oh my God, Mike Vick got tackled. He fucking sucks." Well, how can you get tackled, Michael Vick? Like, you don't say shit like that if you really are admire of a game. Now, I know a lot of people probably rolling their eyes and saying, well, Mike, yeah, we do. We do that in the passion of the game. But it's like, when we're watching a football game, you're saying, God damn it, Matt, you fucking suck. What the fuck were you thinking? You say these things in the heat of the moment, but this is not the heat of the moment right now. This is the off season. The Falcons are doing everything possible to rebuild this team. They're bringing in great coaches. We're bringing in coaches that have had a list and a history of success of developing players. We brought in Dean Pease to set the foundation for this team. We brought in Jerry Gray, another guy that had a history of turning. I'm talking about guys like Sean Taylor. What's the kid from Green Bay right now? His name escaped me. But the cornerback in Green Bay right now, one of the best in the league. It's like he has a history of building great DBs. Jerry has that. So it's like, why is it that you proclaim to be a Falcons fan and the first thing that comes out of your mouth is, if the Falcons fail, if Grady Jarrett doesn't get 10 sacks, we should think about trading him. If Drake London drops another ball, it's like, why is it that all of the takes are always centered around the negatives? It's always the fucking negatives when it comes down to it. John, Fred D, appreciate everybody for joining us. But like, I'm like I said, I'm gonna be real. I don't really give a damn about how fans perceive their fandom. As far as I'm concerned, I think there are levels to being fans, and a lot of people think that their fandom is on the level, is equal to all fandom, and that's just not true. I think there are three types of fandoms. I think there are three types of fans. We have fans that go out of their way to support the game, support the team. They buy a lot of memorabilia. They learn. They go out of their way to read damn near any article, watch all the shows. I mean, they decorate their house, they decorate their cars. Everything is centered around their favorite team. Jair, that's Jair Alexander. Thank you, appreciate that. But everything that they do is centered around that Atlanta Falcons team. We got content creators that like pretty much dedicate their platforms to protecting the image of the Atlanta Falcons, because we know ESPN and Fox Sports and all these guys are not going to do that. We know that shit and this is why Out of Your Falcons Mind, One Time for the Fan, Mad Mike Sports, Big Low, Smitty, Pound for Pound, like we know a lot of these people build their platform because of a lack of support in the mainstream media. This is the reason why this is why a guy like Pat McAfee can have such a big following, is because, you know, the mainstream media is look, let's just keep it real. The mainstream media is fucking garbage. The shit is trash. It's fucking trash. That's why most of these analysts are getting fucking released and fired, is because they fucking garbage. They sit around and circulate the same shit. They say the same shit. And then we're supposed to sit there for an hour and 30 minutes and look at you say the same bullshit that you said, just in a different way, just to suck Tom Brady's dick. All you doing is sucking his nuts off. LeBron, Steph Curry, all these players. That's all y'all focus on, is trying to suck those guys off so you can get all of the, publicity and get their agents to reach out to you and be their ambassador and shit like that. That's all y'all care about. Jude, what's good? How you doing, brother? So, Jude 31, what's good? Dre Murphy. It's like, we got all these analysts that do things like this, and this, like I said, this is why we are here, the Jude Talk Sports. This is why we're here, because the media doesn't do a great job of telling the truth about the Atlanta Falcons. So, like I said, the world right now is in a funny place. The world right now is in a funny place. The world right now is in a place where people are tired of being lied to. People are tired of being manipulated. People are tired of people trying to manipulate and then lying and saying, no, that's not what we're doing. And we try to throw it in our faces if we are the problem. The world is sick of it. We want authenticity. If you a piece of shit, if you a good guy, if you a true fan, if you just a spectator, people just want to know, what's your level of fandom? Are you a guy that like to just watch the game? And like I said, these are 3 levels of fans. It's people that watch the game, that do everything, they cover their house and Falcons gear. They try to learn, they spend money on learning the formations, they learn the art of the game, the history of the game. They buy the jerseys. Like, these are the fans of the fans of the fans that learn the art of the game, the fandoms. Like, they want to know all of the history within their team. Those are what I call true Atlanta Falcons fans. And there are Falcons fans that they don't really care to know the ins and outs of the NFL game in itself. They just follow the Atlanta Falcons. Don't know a lot of history. They don't really know, guys that played in 1970 for the Falcons and 1960. They don't know much about that. But they will not miss an Atlanta Falcons game. That's tier 2. And then we have tier 3, where it's just Falcons fans, all you care about is your favorite player. Mike Vick, Matt Ryan, Drake London. All you care about is watching those guys. My life is centered around that one player, that individual. I don't care about learning formations. I don't care about going to games. All I want is to see those guys. So there are tiers of Falcons fans. Okay? Like I said, it's the truth, whether a lot of people want to admit it or not. Some of you people just watch games so you can see the best player. And like I said, it's nothing wrong with that. But you got to be honest with yourself. People are not honest when it comes down to the level of a fan, or the levels of fandom they are. Like I said, as far as baseball is concerned, I used to be fully integrated into baseball. I knew all the players, I knew all the pitchers, I knew all our opponents, the type of pitcher they are. Like today, I'm not as ingrained in baseball as I used to. So I would not even consider myself a true baseball fan. Like Big Ant, like Mikey, like Chauncey. I'm not a true baseball fanatic now. Now, I support the hell out of my team. I'm going to watch my Braves in the playoffs. You can best believe that. I'm going to follow my Braves and watch, did they win, did they lose, who did this, and who's the all-star, who's pitching well, who's injured. Like, I'm going to do that. But I won't watch every game. And same with basketball. I love my Hawks. I'm going to make sure I know everything about them. But I'm not gonna sit up here and say like I know every aspect of the team when I don't. I know damn well that I don't really know too much about Kobe Butler. I don't. I don't know shit about no damn Muhammad Gabe. I don't know nothing about him. I don't know nothing about this dude. I don't know a lot on Quinn Snyder. I've seen him in the the NBA, but I'm not gonna sit up here and lie to myself and try to argue Mad Mike because Mad Mike said you're not a true fan because you don't know simple shit. With like you don't. A lot of people don't even know what the hell like. They don't even know where Mike Vick was born. They don't know where Mike Vick went to college. All they know is like Mike Vick played with the Atlanta Falcons and the Eagles. But you up here trying to convince me that your fandom is on the same level as another guy when it's not. It comes down to you just being honest. And a lot of Falcons fans just aren't honest. They try to convince themselves that they true fans and they really love the team. And you can tell when people don't truly love the team and they really behind the team because they're not worried about Matt Ryan and the Falcons weren't able to get us the championship in 2017. They ain't worried about that type of shit. Nah, I know Mo is good. I've been watching him. But I'm saying, like I said, I'm just being real. I don't follow the Hawks every single move. I follow the Atlanta Falcons every single move. Their history. I love football. I love every aspect about football. And like I said, people lie to themselves and they get mad at us, quote unquote, real fans, because you know damn well you don't know shit about no Michael Turner. How many people can say that they saw Michael Turner or they followed Michael Turner in college? How many of you can say that you really followed Matt Ryan's college career? If you weren't an ACC or a real college football fan, you wouldn't have known who the hell Matt Ryan is. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who the hell Brock Purdy was. I've seen a few games of his, but I didn't know who the hell he was. I had to go do my homework and do my history, do research on the guy to learn about him. And like I said, there's a levels to fandom. But the problem with a lot of fans, they're not real with themselves to say, all right, I'm not on that level as a Mike, a Jew, a K-Style. Because look, when I tell you we do this shit every day. We do this every day. We on Twitter. We putting together shows all for y'all to give the Atlanta Falcons fans, the real Atlanta Falcons fans who want to know the truth about their coach, the truth about their players, how good these guys are, why things happen, where this coach came from. Like we want, and we have a long list of a crew of people that go out of their way to, in their downtime, we give y'all more and more content. It's not a lot of people that's gonna sit up here and put in hours of work like we do. It's not a lot of people that's not good. You don't got people that's gonna put in the hours of work. Y'all not gonna put in hours of work and like editing just so Atlanta Falcons fans can be caught up with the players like Carlos Washington Jr. When the last time you seen one of your favorite content creators do a full breakdown on a punter? K-Styles do it. Jew does it. Jew, and I suggest everybody follow Jew Talk Sports, but he does a great job of highlighting a player's pros and cons. That's what he does. He does a great job of highlighting these players' pros and cons. Give their weaknesses, their strengths, how they should be featured. So please subscribe to his channel. He does a great job of that. All right, we got a negative Nancy in here. You got a negative Nancy in here. Sit down and be taught, little old motherfucker. Excuse my language. Like we on some other shit right now. I actually care about the people. I'm not trying to prove something because you think you better than Mad Mike. I don't give a damn about trying to prove that I'm better than another man. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to tell the people and do the research, and give people what I've come up with said research. So if you're not here to entertain and to answer fans' questions, don't come in my live talking about I'm still blocking all this bull crap. All right? We ain't here for that. Like I said, I'm here to talk about Falcons fans, Falcons football. But when it comes down to this Atlanta Falcons, like I said, Atlanta Falcons fan base, I think it's very, I think it's very important to follow each and every Falcon content creator. If you feel like you are a Atlanta Falcons fans, there are levels and there's channels for everybody. But I think, and I personally believe, that we can all, as Falcons fans, try to understand why Out of Your Falcon Mind feels this way. How One Time for the Fan thinks this way. How Mad Mike, AFN, K-Style, Jew Talk Sports, CC Ryder, so many other guys that I apologize if I haven't named you all. Sports Live in the ATL. We got my boy Wolf. So many of them. It's like, I think it's very important, if you're Atlanta Falcons fans, please hit that subscribe button. Because how can you say you're Atlanta Falcons fan, and if you're not watching Atlanta Falcons, look, bro, look, I don't give a damn if people don't like me. I'm going to support them because I support my team. Can somebody time Dave out? I don't really got time for him to be trying to pull out a big dick contest, right? I told you, I love pussy, money, weed, okay? Pussy, money, weed, and God. That's what I worry about. I'm not worried about Dave. So, it's all about, one, supporting your team if you feel like you are a real Falcons fan. If you're a real Falcon fan, like I said, I think you should really support all the real Falcon content creators that's out there. So, like I said, man, and plus, if you have any questions, like I said, I will answer these questions right now. But like I said, man, I'm in the bowling ball. What's happening? We have the same. Like I said, man. It's not really. Like I said, the reason why I say it's important to follow the Atlanta Falcons fans, because we got to understand why everybody thinks the way that they think. Why do you follow? How did you become these quitters? A lot of people judge teams, but they don't. A lot of judge fans, and they don't sit down with them, have a conversation with them, invite them on the show, and all right, why do you think this way? Or you always, because it's certain fans that didn't grow up in Atlanta, that didn't grow up in Georgia, and you say, all right, so why do you have such a strong attachment to a Matt Ryan? Why do you have such a strong attachment to a Julio Jones or a Calvin Ridley? Because a lot of Alabama fans, they are when I tell you they joined by the hip with Julio and Calvin Ridley, they support the hell out of them. They support the hell out of them. You know what I'm saying? They support the hell out of these guys. So when it all comes down to it, I think it's very important to understand why certain people are fans. Because like I said, Jew is from VA. Chicago, VA. It's that's how he became a Falcons fan, watching Mike Vick. So I know what I'm dealing with certain people when it comes down to how they became Atlanta Falcons. So if you saw Mike Vick play, chances are you're gonna want or you're going to gravitate towards guys that play like Mike Vick, because he was one of the first idols for me in basketball. One of my first players that I admired growing up. Of course, everybody, Michael Jordan, Scottie, those guys, but Scottie Pippen was he was my favorite player growing up. That was my favorite player growing up, Scottie Pippen. I patterned myself and I patterned my game after Scottie Pippen. Defense, lockdown defense, rebounds, being the point guard, controlling the tempo, like all that. That's how I patterned my game. So Scottie Pippen was my favorite player growing up. Like now, I love the hell out of Steph Curry. I love the hell out of Steph Curry. Steph Curry is my dude. We share a birthday, all that. Like, Steph Curry, my dude. I follow him at Davidson. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, now you kind of see why Mike goes out of his way to when people say, all right, trade, he passes the ball too much. He shoots the ball too much. He shoots the ball way too much. Well, like, if you seen Steph Curry play, you'll know that's like, he kind of patterned his game. Those guys have similar games, and then it's like, obviously he admired Kobe Bryant too. So it's like, if you understand what Trey is and how he became a fan, like, you will understand his mentality. And like I said, that's why I say it's very important as Falcons fans to understand why Salita, why Pound for Pound, Jew Talk Sports, why guys admire certain players and why they became Atlanta Falcons fans. Because like I said, I grew up watching Deion Sanders. Deion was my dude. You know, you got a lot of people. AI, you said Vic and Iverson. Archangel said Iverson. Curry, Dre, he said became a Falcon fan when Mike Vick was drafted. It's like it's so many ways, different ways how Falcons fans, became fans. And like I said, that's largely due to the fact that's like what era they grew up in, because most people who was like 30, they've seen Mike Vick play. Some guys, some of the people in their early to mid-20s, they never really saw, they were too young to see Mike Vick play. They were probably, 3 years old when Vick got into the league. So you can understand why it's like, all right, Matt Ryan is their guy, because they never really seen Mike Vick play. So this is why I say it is very important to understand and follow these content creators, because understand the Falcons fan base. And this is something that the Falcons, Terrence Mathis, oh my God, Terrence Mathis is my idol. Oh my God, Terrence Mathis is my idol, bro. And to be able to sit down and work with his crew, man, it's like I said, it's a heaven sent. It's a God sent for me. It's heaven sent for me. I was a big Terrence Mathis fan, okay? Big Terrence Mathis fan. And now, sitting down, had the chance to interview, pick his brain. It's like, if I have questions about anything, this dude, like, he's going to give his all and his best effort to make sure that, I know what I know. And it's like, we exchange favors here and there. He needs something done, bam, I'm going to do my best to do that for him. 80s babies here, Jew. 80s babies here, boy. So, like I said, man, it's like, it's different reasons why people became fans. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, hit that, Ant, can you hit that Jim Everett kind of time him out too? We on something else today. We're not on this trolling stuff. So you want to talk football, Mr. Jim Everett? Um, it's kind of ironic that you coming here on some Jim Everett stuff. But I love Bird Talk with Terrence Mathis. I got his jersey. He scored a TD at the Georgia Dome in '99 and looked up and saw me wearing his 81. Oh, now that's a dope. That's a dope. That's crazy. So, like I said before, man, so like, I think it's very important to kind of focus on the kind of, like I said, it's very important to to support all the Falcons content creators, because like I said, man, we don't have any presence. We barely have. This is the first time in a long time that I've seen Grady Jarrett. Like, bro, Grady Jarrett been in the league for what? It's going on his 9th year, bro. And this is the first time that we seen him on TV shows being interviewed. And he's been one of the top defensive linemen since he came into the league. This his rookie year, I think it was his second. Oh, great! I think he was a rookie. He may have been a rookie in the Super Bowl 16. But this dude, 3 sacks. 3 fucking sacks in the Super Bowl, dog. 3 freaking sacks in the Super Bowl. One of the best defensive tackles the Falcons have ever had. One of the greatest defensive tackles, in my opinion, in the NFL history. And this guy, this is the first time that we've seen him in the public eye like that. And you wondering why Mad Mike is, and a lot of Falcons fans are sick and tired of ESPN. We tired of it, dog. We demand our respect. Now, as it goes for a lot of those, the NFL, this is what I gotta say about this in regards to that tweet yesterday. A lot of people think, when we say things like this, when we say things that the NFL has an agenda against the Atlanta. They do not like the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know exactly why. I don't know where it went wrong. I don't know if they forgot to pay somebody. I don't know if Arthur Blank slapped somebody's mama or kid or whatever. I don't know anything. But you can't tell me that the Falcons or the NFL doesn't have an agenda. For one, right? Grady Jarrett proceeds to go, we're talking about Grady Jarrett proceeds to go on a media. He was being interviewed by everybody in all articles, bigging up, giving support to his quarterback, and the media made sure that they went out of their way to ask him questions about Desmond Ridder. Most of his questions wasn't about Calais Campbell and how the defense and how Arnold Ebiketie and Troy Anderson, those guys are being, how they're progressing. They continuously ask him questions about Desmond Ridder. So they continuously ask questions about Desmond Ridder. Continuously. Over and over and over again. And Grady Jarrett was like, this kid has something special. He's a winner. Like, he plays with a confidence, a moxie. He's a true leader. The guys on the team believed him. It's like one of the reasons why he came to the Atlanta Falcons, Calais Campbell. is because he saw tape not only on Arthur Smith and his offense, but he saw tape on Desmond Ridder, and that was one of the reasons he explained in an interview. It's like one of the reasons why he came to Atlanta, because he wanted to kind of help aid this team with Desmond Ridder. So we get all these guys backing, supporting, getting behind Desmond Ridder. And then the NFL went out of their way to do this. To post 28-3, quote unquote, 28-3, Super Bowl 51 on Twitter. Nah, I'll get to that, Southside. I'll get to that question. But we have the NFL that went out. You got the Kansas City Chiefs that are Super Bowl champions right now. These guys are Super Bowl champions. The Falcons didn't win. The Falcons weren't in the playoffs. The Philadelphia Eagles, they were in the playoffs. They were in the Super Bowl. The Kansas City Chiefs were in the Super Bowl. And here we are. It's getting closer and closer to the season, and we up here posting the whole game of Super Bowl 51 with the Atlanta Falcons blew a lead 28-3. And you try to tell me there's no agenda? Why the hell is Atlanta Falcons on your mind? Why are the Atlanta Falcons on the NFL's mind? This is why I tell y'all. Look, the NFL and a lot of NFL, they try to do a lot of things to distract y'all. Every time the Falcons do something good, it's always some bullshit or some bull crap. They try to blame it on somebody. They're pissed off that the Atlanta Falcons didn't go after Lamar Jackson. Why? Because if you know anything about the media, if you knew anything about it, if you've been following this, you know anything about these guys, guess what? You know, ESPN been losing money. ESPN has lost a lot of money because a lot of people aren't watching that bullshit on cable. They're not watching cable TV anymore. A lot of people are on YouTube. A lot of people are on these podcasts. So they're searching and they're getting ingrained in sports when it comes down to this. They're on YouTube, they're watching the games, but most of these people are indeed ditching ESPN. And yes, the underground is taking over. This is the reason why they wanted the Atlanta Falcons to bring in Lamar Jackson, because they know ESPN is the major and I was going to use a derogatory term, but I'm going to behave today. But ESPN, we know that they only care about superstars. They only care about Kobe. They only care about Michael Jordan. They only care about LeBron. They only care about Tom Brady. They only care about whatever AB is doing, acting a damn fool. They only care about superstars. They don't care nothing about nobody. They care about the Rams. They care about the Dallas Cowboys. They care about the 49ers. And they care about, they don't even care about the Raiders anymore. Even though the Raiders are even an LA team and they bring in a lot of fans, they don't care about nothing. They don't care about any of that. And if you go back to the Mike Vick days, ESPN made so much money off of Mike Vick in Atlanta. This is why I say y'all got to follow the patterns, and you really have to look at what these guys are doing. Why do you guys think that they were so adamant on everybody, especially the sister networks and the brother networks of ESPN, NFL Network. That's why they wanted Lamar Jackson here in Atlanta. Because they know if Lamar came to Atlanta, a lot of black people are going to get on the bandwagon of Lamar Jackson. They did the exact same thing with Mike Vick. They know black people going to get behind Lamar Jackson. That's the only reason why they wanted him here. They didn't give a damn whether or not the Falcons won the Super Bowl. They was building the team the right way. All they care about is getting him in. All they care about is getting Lamar in here so they can sell to black people. Because we know black people, they don't give a damn what time of day. They're going to do whatever it takes to represent that superstar. We've been buying Jordans for the last 40 years. You can't convince a black person, especially young, teenage, 20 to 30, not to buy Jordans. Everybody got it. Damn near everybody, especially in the black community, everybody got J's. I got 2 or 3 pair. So you know they gonna support them. This the same thing. Mike Vick had shoes, tennis shoes, had video games. They made so much money off Michael Vick. That's the main reason why, like a lot of these people wanted Lamar Jackson here, because they knew, ESPN knew for a fact that they would be able to sell Lamar Jackson to Atlanta. That's the real reason why. Why do you think these guys are going out of their way when we've seen the progression of Desmond Ridder? I just showed you guys stats the other day, last night. His first 4 games as a quarterback, the only thing that really separates Desmond Ridder from Tom Brady is about 112 yards and 2 touchdowns. They're damn near identical in numbers. But we're constantly hearing he have accuracy issues. That he can't do this, that he can't do that. When you look at his numbers, it's damn near identical from what Tom Brady did as his first 4 games as a quarterback. You can't sell a Desmond Ridder. He doesn't have he doesn't have one of these games where he's gonna throw the ball, diving backwards and spinning and throwing the ball 100 yards like Mike Vick, throwing, the ball 80 yards like Anthony Richardson. He doesn't have that type of game. For the most part, we always say he's a black Matt Ryan. He's a black Matt Ryan. Dude, he's a leader. He's gonna do his job. He's gonna do his thing. But for the most part, you can't sell a Desmond Ridder like you can sell a Lamar Jackson. This is the reason why ESPN. This is the reason why the NFL is going out of the way. The NFL makes a lot of money from ESPN and getting those guys to promote the game. So if ESPN isn't promoting the NFL game, guess what? The NFL lose money too. The guys like Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones pretty much got all these media publications by the balls. Jerry Jones pretty much got every media outlet by the balls. You can't do nothing without seeing a Dallas Cowboy story, a jersey, somebody being promoted that they ain't got no business promoting. New York. Everything in New York sells. It's called America's Team. So Jerry Jones and these guys ain't getting their money. Guess what? Yeah, they gonna hate the hell out of they gonna hate the hell out of Arthur Blank, because we know for the Falcons, we know one thing about Arthur Blank. Arthur Blank is not gonna put he's not gonna put that man don't care nothing. That man does not care about being in the media eye. He despises his players being in the media eye. That man despises his team being in the media eye. Yeah, he despises it. And this is why the NFL is upset. They want to see the dysfunction here in Atlanta. They want to see that. They love it when the Falcons are dysfunctional. Asia, how you doing, girl? But like I said, they love it when the Falcons are dysfunctional. They love it when Julio did what he did to the Falcons. They love that. They love it when Mike Vick got in trouble. They can run 50 million stories about how Mike Vick was a piece of shit. We slaughter animals on a daily basis, but Mike Vick was just a slime of a human being, because we literally have horses being beaten. Yeah, I want to tell you about that. They beat the hell out of them horses to break them in, to make them to race. They beat the hell out of them. And then when the horses are no good, guess what? They kill them. They put them down. So they beat the hell out of these horses, and they just kill them. But Michael Vick is a slime ball for, getting involved, and which was a cultural thing. If you know anything about VA, if you know about like being in certain neighborhoods, even in the country, like I said, my mom's from Alabama. I know this all too well. Dog fighting was it was just a regular thing. It's a regular thing. We see this all the time. Dog breeding in the hood. You go to a gas station, you can see somebody got puppies in the back of their truck. Pit bull for $200. We see that all the time. But this man is a piece of slime for what he did. And like I said, I'm not saying that it isn't wrong, because it's something that I wouldn't do. But when it comes down to it, this is why ESPN hates the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are not playing their game. The Falcons don't care nothing about ESPN. Arthur doesn't need ESPN to make money. There's a Home Depot all over the fucking country. This man owns 2 professional teams, okay? And a couple of other soccer teams, minor league soccer teams. Yeah. This man got businesses everywhere. He doesn't need the NFL like that. So he don't need ESPN like that. Excuse me. He don't need ESPN like that. This man gonna make his money, and has made his money. There's the reason why they mad at the Atlanta Falcons. They bucking the system. They going back to what works, running the damn ball. They focus on running the damn ball, playing solid defense, because we tried that already. We tried giving up all our draft picks to get one player. Trading all our picks to get one player in Julio Jones. And yeah, Julio Jones did work out for us, but we never won a Super Bowl. How many times have we traded up to get players and they never failed? And a lot of these guys didn't pan out. How many times have we went into free agency and got the best defensive tackle, the best defensive end, and it failed? It failed. Bringing in a peerless price. Now, granted that peerless, it was a lot of, issues surrounding that, but like we always say, it's like spending and trading all your picks for one player, that very seldom works. Jerry Jones been doing this. He's been doing this for 25 years, trying to trade and sign and get all the players on one team, and it failed for him for 25 years. So we know for a fact that chances are, if you go out and try to buy everybody, it doesn't work. The New England Patriots traded for Randy Moss. Did Randy Moss a hell of a year that year? Absolutely. Tom Brady had one of the best seasons as a quarterback ever. The Patriots had one of the greatest teams of all time that year, and they still lost. Man threw 50 touchdowns just to lose. Sound familiar, you know? So you can have all these superstar players, but that does not in any way, shape, or form guarantee that you're going to win a championship. Vlad says the key to winning the Super Bowl is great depth. I think that's, and it is the key to it, to be a little bit more specific with it, I think is key in the areas that is important to your scheme. Like if everything revolves around the run game, then you have to have running back depth, you have to have offensive linemen, you have to have great to good tight ends. And if your defense, obviously you got to be damn good in the trenches. You got to have depth in the trenches. And that's the key to a Super Bowl. Key depth in the key spots. And right now the Falcons have depth in the secondary, they have depth in up front with the defensive linemen. Offensive linemen, we're damn deep on the offensive line. Patriots won 16-0 and still lost. Yeah, they had help. They had two of the greatest quarterback wide receiver duos of all time and still lost. But ESPN trying to tell us, they trying to sell on us on the idea of we need to get Lamar because having a quarterback, let me say this again, having a quarterback is how you win Super Bowls. Excuse me, sir. John, what's up? But excuse me, sir, I'm saying time and time again that quarterbacks that are not Hall of Famers end up in the Super Bowl. Nick Foles, you think Nick Foles is a Hall of Famer? Last time I checked, Nick Foles, they ain't even like is he even in the league? Aaron Rodgers ain't been to a Super Bowl since 15. I go down the list of great quarterbacks that have yet to win championships. But ESPN trying to tell us, Atlanta Falcons fan and the Falcons organization, that you're not trying to win because you're not giving up 3 draft picks for Lamar Jackson. Man, get out of here. Nobody will say Joe Flacco is a Hall of Famer, but he won. Trying to get back to that question from where is it? Southside. I'm trying to get back to your question. I forget what the question is. But like I said, I think a lot of a lot of things that we see going on. It's like if you look at it from the negative eye, if you look at it for the naked eye, the first thing you say, it's like, all right, it don't even make sense. Why would they be worried about Desmond Ridder? The goal isn't Desmond Ridder. It's by way of Desmond Ridder. And why I say that? Why do I say that? The goal isn't simply Desmond Ridder. They know the Atlanta Falcons fan base has always been divided when it comes down to the quarterback position. Mike Vick fans don't, most not all, of these people don't support Matt Ryan. And a lot of Matt Ryan supporters don't support Mike Vick. So we know that. So most of us, we stay arguing. And we've had some crazy battles even on this channel when it came down to Mike Vick and Matt Ryan. So they know for a fact, if they go and attack the quarterback position and they bring that question, like, it's like, why would you, if that was the case, why would you put Super Bowl 21? It makes perfect sense. We don't already, it makes perfect sense. The Falcons fan base are divided when it comes, have always been divided at the quarterback position. And a lot of people always blame Matt Ryan for losing the Super Bowl, or the Falcons losing the Super Bowl. It's Matt Ryan's fault that the defense couldn't keep a 25-point lead in less than, it was about like 3 minutes left in the third quarter. So they pretty much blew 25-point lead in a whole, in a one quarter, essentially. But that's Matt Ryan's fault? It's Matt Ryan's fault that his stupid ass head coach didn't have the guts to say, Kyle, what the heck are you doing? What the heck are you doing? Run the damn ball. We have video evidence of the Dallas Cowboys. Excuse me. We have video evidence of the New England Patriots players on the sideline scream. They're saying after Julio caught that ball on the sideline, well, that's it. They're gonna run the ball, they're gonna get the ball and run the clock out. They even said it. They even said, why the Falcons, like, why is he, like, they saying to themselves, why the hell are we throwing the ball? We got the Patriots players saying to themselves, after Julio caught that pass, they saying, well, that's it. They're going to run the clock out now. But it's Matt Ryan's fault because our stupid head coach he's not fucking smart enough or have the guts to say to Kyle Shanahan, stop throwing the damn ball. Run it. Or like Sam likes to always say and bring up, why the hell do we stop blitzing? And like we played man-to-man press coverage damn the entire game, and then all of a sudden you want to get in the fourth quarter and stop blitzing. And you want to play off coverage. Well, some people like to say, well, the Falcons didn't necessarily stop blitzing. Well, they still played that off coverage. Now, that's debatable whether you believe the Falcons stopped blitzing or not. Like me personally, I think there's certain styles of blitzing. There's aggressive blitzing, and there's just blitzing to just be blitzing. The Falcons blitz to be blitzing. They didn't design blitzes to actually get pressure and hit guys and make plays. The Falcons blitz because their guys were tired up front. So they were blitzing to be blitzing to help get pressure. They weren't blitzing to be aggressive and to get sacks. Because if you blitzing to get sacks, you don't play off coverage. You don't play off coverage if you're blitzing to get sacks. You play man-to-man, you play bump coverage. You force that quarterback to hold the ball a little bit more. So again, when it all comes down to it, a lot of these issues that we, as Falcons fans, we're divided because, like I said, it's the quarterback position. It's the quarterback position. Like this fan base, for quite some time, for the last 20-something years have been divided when it comes down to the quarterback position. That's the reason why they tweeted that Super Bowl. They knew exactly what they were doing. The Falcons are bucking the system right now, and they don't like it. They're essentially saying, boy, do what I say or else. And Arthur Smith, Terry Fontenot said, nah, I'm good. I got money. I don't need yours. And the NFL can't take it. The NFL can't take the fact that the Falcons have their own money. The NFL can't take the fact that the Falcons have their own mindset. The NFL cannot stand the fact that the Falcons are going back to running the damn ball. Quarterbacks, hold on. I called a doofus for trying. I was called a doofus for trying to explain the other day that quarterbacks don't lose leads, with the exception of losing fumbles and pick sixes. I mean, when it comes down to that, it's like, as far as that concerned, like that's the way I see it. Like if a quarterback isn't making mistakes and he's running the clock, especially when you have a lead, and this is what this based on, John. Like, if you have a lead, and especially you have a 3-score lead, in this turn, this is a 4-score lead. A quarterback should, especially with a quarter left, don't tell me that a quarterback blew a lead and he didn't throw interceptions. Don't tell me a quarterback blew a lead and it was only, let's just say one fumble, and I think that was like, was that a fumble? Or was it just a sack? But the man pretty much had a perfect game, Matt Ryan. If the Falcons do one thing, is stop that 2-point conversion, the second 2-point conversion, the game is over and the game is ours. They can't win. If we just do one thing, one stop, because people forget, they won the game on the last play. They ran the ball, they ran the clock out. The clock was running down. So if they don't score there, the game is tied. We going into overtime. So if they just get one, I'm talking about one. All they had to do was one thing, was stop a 2-point conversion. Okay, it was a sack fumble. Thank you, Wallace. All you need was the defense to get one stop, and they couldn't even do that. But we up here worried about whether or not the quarterback blew a lead. And this is what the NFL knows. They know for a fact that this fan base is divided. It's still a sore spot. It brings back bad memories. It's like Vietnam vets. Anything a trigger. A certain thing is like a penny drop on the road too hard. A firecracker, gunshots. It'll trigger Vietnam vets. That's the same thing with Falcons fans. If we look at Matt Ryan and we see that Super Bowl, them playing the Super Bowl for 51 again, it's like, guess what? We get instantly triggered. They knew exactly what they were doing when they tweeted that. And it's just my theory in regards to why they deleted that tweet. I think somebody in the higher ups, when it came down to the Falcons, I think somebody from the higher ups on the Falcons expressed their displeasure with that particular tweet. and had the NFL take, because NFL, when they do things, it's intentional. They never just tweet anything out just to be tweet. ESPN went out of their way to show that Gucci Man was doing a damn he was doing the show for the Patriots after Super Bowl. Yeah, they went out of their way to show that. Trolling Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, they went out of their way to do that. I believe that Arthur did speak on that, because I've never seen the NFL delete any tweet. I've never seen them delete a tweet. I've never seen them delete a tweet, because a lot of Falcons, a lot of people were really upset about that. So I really believe Arthur Smith expressed his displeasure about that. Somehow it got to one of those guys, whether it's Arthur or Rich McKay. And don't get it twisted, Rich McKay has a lot of power in the NFL. He's the head of the competition committee. These guys have power. And that's what y'all got to understand. Arthur is the head of the Owners Association, the Owners Board. He's the head of that guy. He's the head. It was once Jerry Jones, but Jerry Jones is not the guy anymore. The two most powerful owners in the NFL right now are Arthur Blank, and Jerry Jones, Robert Kraft. It's those trio of owners. The thing about Jerry Jones been losing power for a long time. Again, you can look it up for yourself. Arthur Blank is one of the most influential guys in the NFL right now. Rich McKay, another guy, he's one of the most influential. So they know exactly what they were doing when they tweeted that out. See, if you're not looking at all of the evidence, if you're not looking at every little thing and watching the patterns, every time the Atlanta Falcons they good now. Yeah, they good now. But it wasn't always like that with Robert Kraft. Like, they good friends. Now they are. But like, Jerry Jones has lost a lot of power in the owners board. Arthur Smith, Arthur Blank, and Robert Kraft, they have a lot of power in the NFL. Everything pretty much goes through those guys. Now, as far as people saying Dan Quinn got out-coached, I don't necessarily think he got out-coached. I just think he's a fucking punk. I just think he's a fucking punk. He's a do-boy, and he just does whatever the fuck he's told. I think he's soft. He masquerades around like he's just this tough guy, but he's soft. That's essentially it, but Kyle got cute and Dan Quinn didn't speak up. He's soft. He saw that man making a mistake, a big mistake. Instead of being a damn coach, instead of being a damn leader, he let the ship go down. It's like when your car is overheating, you know it's a bad idea to keep driving the damn thing. You know it's a bad idea when your car is overheating and you decide, nah, I'm gonna keep driving it. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Nah, ain't nothing gonna happen. I'ma just let my homeboy keep driving it. Flames, we got smoke coming out of this motherfucker. Dan Quinn just saying to himself, the smoke, the smoke, the smoke, the smoke, the smoke. He didn't say, Kyle, you gotta pull this shit over. This bitch gonna blow up. Nope. Smoke came, engine locked up, and then damn thing set on fire. And he just said, well, it's okay, Kyle. I understand what you're doing. You just trying to, get us home. No, he should have told Kyle to pull this bitch over before that shit explodes. Before we really mess up the car. He just sat there and let it happen. Dan Quinn is a fucking punk. He used everybody. We should have saw the signs coming with him. We should have saw all the signs from 2016. This dude was making examples out of coaches. He blamed the defensive deficiencies on Richard Smith. Took his play calling duties, and then ultimately fired him. Did the same thing with good God Almighty. But the Marquand Manuel, he did the same thing with Marquand Manuel. He did it with Brian Cox. Brian Cox helped a lot of those guys, defensive guys, the Vic Beasley, the Rasheed Mathis, Grady Jarrett. Like he was a influential defensive coach for that team. Dan Quinn got rid of all of them. Everybody ever think about that? Why he fired all his defensive coordinators? He's a fucking punk. He's soft and he wants everything to be like his way. And like I said, all he had to do was speak up, be heard, and say run the damn ball. Nope, he just let Kyle run amok and do what he did so he can keep friends. That's all he did. He wanted to continuously remain in good faith with Kyle Shanahan just so he can save his friendship. Tony Wright, what's good? But get back to what I was saying about why the NFL tweeted that. They knew exactly, like I said, they got it in. And I think when I say they, I really believe that Arthur Smith and Jerry Jones have got a real hate for each other. I think Jerry Jones is really leading the crusade for a lot of these publications to diss the Atlanta Falcons. I really believe that. We know for sure that Jerry Jones and the media, they some cut buddies, okay? Let's keep that real. The media and Jerry Jones, they in bed together. They gonna do whatever Jerry Jones say, because Jerry Jones gonna make them money, and they gonna listen to Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones and the media is in bed together. Jerry Jones does not like Arthur Blank. So a lot of these publications, especially ESPN, the Fox Sports, are heavily influenced by Jerry Jones. They're called America's Team. Why is it like on Thanksgiving, Christmas, holidays, Monday Night Football, Thursday, it's always the damn Dallas Cowboys. And this has been going on for decades. Since Jerry Jones has been the guy. It's always been The damn Cowboys on TV. Don't nobody want to see no damn Dallas Cowboys. Every damn, every. I'm talking about every. Cowboys won't make the playoff this season. They will have a lot of tough opponents. Dak Prescott will continue to throw picks until he finally gets benched in early November. I don't know if it'll be the offense that'll have problems. I think it's going to be the Dallas Cowboy defense, because I think they're making a grave mistake by turning Micah Parsons into a defensive end. He doing the exact same shit that he did with Vic Beasley. This guy's a moron, bro. He has a massive ego. And I think they're doing a grave mistake by trying to turn Micah Parsons into a complete defensive end. I just don't think he is a complete defensive end. I think you just need to use this guy in passing situations as a pass rusher. When you try to turn him into this physical defensive end, I don't think that's what he is. Because you got to remember, this dude was slated to be a middle linebacker. He failed at that miserably, and they turned him into an edge, and he excelled at that. But Micah Parsons didn't play a lot of defensive end. They only played him in key situations where they had lead, and he could just do one thing, and that's get after the quarterback. So now they're trying to turn him into a complete defensive end. Sounds just like sounds exactly what they did to Takk McKinley and Vic Beasley. Those guys are not complete defensive ends. They're pass rush specialists. And Dan Quinn trying to do the exact same thing. So I think it's going to be the defense. Now, I do not believe in Dak Prescott. This is my opinion. I don't believe in him. I don't believe in Mike McCarthy. I think he's a failure. And I think, that defense is going to let them down. So, yeah. Yeah, he get paid. A lot of those things, depending on how many tickets they sell and things of that nature, like those owners get paid for those national televised games. They get paid for those national televised games too. So, like I said, that's another thing you gotta understand too. Yeah, I know that's not true. Ain't no way they sign Takk McKinley again. I just refuse to believe that. Marlon Davis with the Niners. I don't know about that. But like I said, the NFL knows exactly what they're doing. And like I said, this is largely due to the fact that Jerry Jones has a stronghold on the media. Like I said, if you did your homework and if you understand that about Jerry Jones, he loves the media and the media loves him. Just look at a lot of his interviews. You see like 50 people just surrounding him, just asking him questions. Arthur Blank would never. Arthur Blank would never be he would never be sitting there with the media with 15, 20 media personnel surrounding him like he's a damn superstar. But you see Jerry Jones do that all the time. Well, like I said, a lot of you talk about Stephen A. Smith. Again, these guys are getting paid to speak about the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones must. He's going to do everything to buy these writers and reporters off to make sure that his Dallas Cowboys are always in the media. Been doing it for years. So, like I said, that's my take. That's my take on why so many players, so many fans are so negative as it pertains to the Atlanta Falcons, and why is it always. Oh wow, so it is true. Pat McKinley is back with the Cowboys. Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. Damn. Jerry Jones just like P. Diddy. All want to be all up in the videos, dancing. Yeah, come to the Cowboys. So, like I said before, man, it's like, if you're a true fan of the Atlanta Falcons, and if you are a content creator that's not being controlled by your bosses at the publications that will be left unnamed, I don't understand why you would constantly always think about what could go wrong if Desmond Ritter fails, if Arthur Smith fails, if the defense can't get sacked. Like, why are you, like, if you're a Falcons fan, why are your mentality that way? Get it. You say you're a Falcons fan, the first thing that you think and the things that you talk about most shouldn't be if a guy fails or if we don't do this. We should say if we can get Desmond Ritter to pass for 3,500 yards, we'll be good. If the defense can get 35 to 40 sacks, the Falcons will be in the playoffs. These are the things that we should be focusing on for the most part. But a lot of these content creators, and like content creators, we've seen some people, as fans, the only thing that they worried about is focus on is Desmond Ritter failing, Arthur Smith failing. If we fail, we need to blow it up and start all over again. That's all people are concerned about is if we're going to fail. Not if we succeed, but if we fail. That's the conversation with a lot of Falcons fans, and that's the conversation with a lot of content creators. Y'all always talking about if we fail. And the conversation should always be if we succeed, especially if you're a Falcons fan. Now, as far as the media is concerned, do you think a lot of these people are paid to talk negative about the Atlanta Falcons? Well, technically, as media personnel, you're supposed to have unbiased opinions. That's why oftentimes you see a lot of people who are writers for like ESPN and things of that nature. These people are typically they're fans of other teams. So that's what ESPN rules, and most of especially sports, as far as sports is concerned, most of the journalists aren't fans of other teams. So you're supposed to have an unbiased opinion. But the problem is that we getting these writers who's supposed to have unbiased opinion, but these writers are writers of teams that hate the Atlanta Falcons. Such as guys, I forget that old black dude who came down and said he interview players, people from Atlanta. I forgot his name, but it was a whole ESPN skit. But they didn't tell you that this guy is a Saints fan. So they always hire guys in certain cities, like Atlanta, that are fans of, like, these guys are fans of the Saints, or they fans of the Panthers or the Bucks. So they hire guys like that. So they hire guys to simply hate on certain teams. So, like I said, at the end of the day, man, well, I didn't plan on doing anything tonight, but I had to kind of get this out, get back into the groove of creating and doing more live shows. Because the season is coming, it'll be here before you know it. I'll be in my spot in a couple of days, and I truly appreciate everybody. Silas Southside Bowling Ball, John St. Clair, Tony Wright, all the guys, like I said, everybody who continuously support your boy. But I'ma head out and get me a little bit of dinner. And like I said before, man, if you're a true Falcons fan, acknowledge it. If you are a fan that just, like, you don't necessarily go into the history of the team, that's fine. But don't try to claim that you are, you're a full-fledged, you bought it. Because most of these people, y'all know damn well y'all don't know what the hell a 4-3 is. If you can't tell me what the hell a 4-3, if you can't tell me who Tommy Nobis is, if you can't tell me who Scott Case, what he did, don't try to convince yourself that you're a Falcons fan, a real Falcons fan, a diehard Falcons fan. Because the diehard Falcons fans know the history of the team. They know when and where and who these players are. They look into every aspect of the team. These are what true fans are. And like I said, don't try to pretend like you are if you can't tell me who the hell and where the hell Mike Vick lived, where he went to college, because you're not a true fan. Just be honest with yourself, like I'm honest with my fandom and baseball. I love baseball, but I'm not a diehard baseball fan. And that's just being honest. So with that being said, I know y'all ain't gonna like it, and I like to sing this song for y'all, especially for all you NFL haters. I'm gonna sing this little song for y'all. I told you so. I told you so. I'm telling y'all, we gonna sing this song for y'all at the end of this season. This Falcons team are gonna open a lot of people's eyes. If we stay healthy, this team is gonna be in the playoffs, and we're gonna shock the hell out of a lot of people. We're gonna shock the hell out of a lot of people. I promise you that. This Atlanta Falcons team is gonna shock the hell out of a lot of people. Oh, I'm gonna sing my song. Oh, I'm gonna sing it several times this year. So with that being said, your boy Man Mike is out of here. Peace.